we need to get comfortable with taking risks, right? So especially if we're in our like early 20s and we're thinking, oh, should we play it safe or should we take the risk? It's always best to take the risk, right? So here's why. So depending on how much risk you can tolerate, that's how successful you're going to be. So if you get people in their 20s who take the risk of starting a business and they keep working all the way into their 30s, they're probably way better off than the people who don't take risks in their 20s and they work for a corporation until, well, in their 30s, they're not doing that good because they're living paycheck to paycheck. Yes, sure, it's comfortable in your 20s, but it's not gonna be comfortable if you're consistently doing paycheck to paycheck for your whole life, right? Or people who take risks in their 20s and like network with other people and like literally uh have connections, they probably find life to be very easy in their 30s, well, because they have a network they can rely on, compared to most people, which I know most people don't like network and try to find friends or try to find people they can rely on. And in your 30s, life is gonna be hard, right? So if you want if you want your later life, right? So like in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, or so on, to be good, you need to start taking risks now, right? So that you can so that you can be better off in the future, right? But of course, the one thing we also need to know is how to manage our risk, right? So I'm not saying that just go and do the most riskiest thing. If the risk doesn't bring any value, there is no need to like take that risk. So a good example would be like if if I don't know, like jumping off a mountain, that'd be pretty risky, right? But there is no value in jumping off a mountain, so it's not necessary. I wouldn't recommend you go jump off a mountain. But if in something like starting a business, like yes, it's risky, but it has value, right? So like if you start a business, there is a good chance that if it's successful, it's created a lot of value, right? So think in terms of like, all right, so this is risky. How much value is it gonna provide if I'm successful? And if you like the value, then take the risk. All right. So I wanted to share, if you're in a place where you're like, should I take the risk or not? Just see how much value it produces and then take the risk. All right. Peace, guys.